guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are watching season 4, episode 18 of Battlestar Galactica. We are basically at the doorway of the series finale. I'm not ready, especially after how incredibly bleak I found the end of last episode. I have it in my head that we're gonna get at least a somewhat happy ending, and so I could very well be setting myself up for massive disappointment. I'm nervous. Every time I sit down to watch these episodes now, I feel like excited because we're almost at the end. I feel very sad because we're almost at the end, and just nervous because I just really want to be happy with the way that this show wraps up because I've just enjoyed it so much. I think it's been such an incredible science fiction, I don't know what the word is, entry. I think it's such a cultural thing, right? I've always heard of Battlestar Galactica. It's been around for a while now. And so I don't know. I have high expectations, right? I guess that's what I should say. I have high expectations that it's gonna be great because what I've seen and just my understanding of where it fits into science fiction and the history of science fiction, right? Anyway, that is a lot of rambling. Last time we had a lot of stuff happen. We had a lot of really, I think, important character stuff with Hera and the ghost of her dad. We found out that her dad taught her the song, which is what woke up the final five. So maybe we're one step closer to figuring out who the hell Hera is and where she comes from. Hera was kidnapped by Boomer, who tricked Tyrell into setting her free. She also jumped really close to Galactica, which, as we know, was on its last leg and has now probably stranded humanity, at least the people on the Galactica, where they are. So, yeah. Sam might wake up. We don't know. But we'll see. And, yeah, I don't want to ramble too much. I know I already have. But, yeah, I just want to see where this episode goes. So, let's do it. Also, because I forgot to say, we are watching the extended edition, as always. You saw in the title, but yeah, extended edition, so.
Admiral, Hera's our only chance.
The fact is we have no way of tracking Boomer's raptor, and we have no way of knowing where she's going.
She'll take her to Cavil.
Yeah.
That much is obvious.
Which Cavil? Where? Could be any one of 1,000 base ships between here and Caprica.
Not just any base ship. He'll take her to the colony.
The colony?
What colony? Yeah.
I guess you could call it home. It's where we and the Centurions went after the First War. Once we convinced them to abandon their own experiments with evolution in exchange for resurrection technology.
She knows where it is.
Okay, where is it?
So you would have the Galactica jump into a Cylon's hornet's nest, risk everything for one solitary single child. Is that what you're telling me, Colonel?
She's not just any child.
She's the future of...
With Caprica 6's miscarriage, Hera is our people's only hope of avoiding eventual extinction.
She may be our only hope.
I was gonna say, she might be humanity's only hope as well.
Hera wrote the notes to a song. A song that my father used to play to me when I was a child.
Same song that switched us on when we were in that nebula.
The same song that led us to Earth. Something is happening here, something that is greater than all of us, and that little girl is in the middle of it.
She's the key.
She's the key, sir.
That's what I just said?
In other words, it's our destiny.
He doesn't believe in that shit.
I've had it up to here with destiny, prophecy, with God or the gods. Look where it's left us. Yes, and nowhere.
I mean, you can't blame him.
Nearly half of our people are gone. Earth's a worthless cinder, and I can't even walk down the halls of my ship without wondering if I'm going to catch a bullet for getting us into this mess.
That's fair, but also you can't just lie down and die at this point.
At least give us a recon bird. We can see what we're up against.
Yeah. At least take a shot at survival. Like, what other choice do you have? Death? A shot at survival.
I don't want Hilo and Athena to find out about this.
Okay. Because they'll want to go, and then they're too close to it. Is that what he's thinking? Lee seems to disagree, but I mean, honestly, it's one shot at survival. Oh no, oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no. She saved him. Oh god, you guys, this is already hard to watch. I'm scared.
Must be tough saying goodbye to both of your women at once.
Oh, wow. Don't.
You must feel like we're abandoning
No one's going
Let's
anywhere.
not say these things.
Like we're putting a lot of power into the hands of some people who not so long ago were doing their damnedest to wipe us out.
And your concerns are noted.
What choice do you have?
No one removes so much as one boat from this Battlestar, not until the Admiral tells us we can.
Really?
Yeah.
What does Gaius Baltar say about that?
Gaius Baltar?
I want to tell you a secret.
Guys, are you causing more fucking shit, bro?
Then perhaps you'll be lucky enough for God to send you an angel. Steer you in the right direction.
Do we think there's symbolism in the fact that she used to wear a red dress, aka like devil, and now she wears white, aka angel?
I have the time. We could share if you wanted to.
You haven't changed, Gaius. Not really. You see? Problem is, I have.
Oh, wow. I think he's actually genuinely upset by that. Oh gosh. This is gonna make me... I'm ready.
Is that what I should call you?
I'm ready.
That's all.
Thank you
Thank me. For what?
for the privilege of finally being able to meet my father before I die.
Really? Really?
You shouldn't be thanking me. I spent most of my life trying to kill your kind.
Too much confusion.
I'm fine. Oh no. I picked the wrong time to say that. Fuck, this episode is getting me.
I have all our memories from before the war. To help fool Hilo into thinking I was her. Ironic, isn't it, now that she's returned the favor?
I am not finished.
It's fair.
We wanted to end the cycle of war between man and machine.
That was a bust.
Yes, we failed. But we have a second chance now.
Take it.
Hera. Without her, our children are going to die off one by one, just like they're dying right now in Coddle's sickbay.
I had a child. He died.
You have a lot of kids, technically.
You're wrong, Saul. You had millions.
Yeah.
Come on, you got to be hungry. Eat this.
You're being so mean to her.
You can see this?
Okay.
You can project it. Yeah, you can still eat it.
Interesting.
I took these off my body. What was left of it anyway on Earth. Take them. You used to be a scientist. Run some tests. Pull out the old Cylon detector. Do whatever you need to do because I have no idea. The only thing I know for sure, I'm not an angel.
Oh, this is interesting. Maybe he'll be able to figure it out. I don't know how.
So in other words, you tried to jumpstart him like a car.
Kinda.
Let me guess, it didn't work so well for you. Take a break.
Someone has to monitor.
I'd like a minute alone with my husband. I'm sure you don't mind.
They put him in, he almost looks like the hybrid, you know?
You are my Sam.
No. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me.
And that's how I'm gonna remember you.
The neuroanatomy of human face share common references. Flip a coin. Increased vascular pressure marks the threat response.
He's like a hybrid now. She was about to fucking kill him and then he stopped her.
You know, sometimes I wonder what home is.
It's a feeling.
Is it an actual place? Or is it an absence we carry inside of us? Some kind of longing for something, some kind of connection. I was always looking for
home.
Something a little bigger or the perfect couch. And then
the world ended.
This. And then now, I don't think I've ever felt truly at home until
Galactica.
These last few months.
With him.
Here with you.
I was meant to do something else, you know, not just this screwed up.
Enough. Shut the frick up already.
What?
Because you're here. My daughter isn't.
Yeah.
She was the one pure thing to come out of this whole miserable mess. Now she's gone. So sorry if I don't feel like sharing your pain right now, Captain.
Again, it's fair for both of them to lash out, you know, him and Athena. It's been so long since we've seen Gaius be a scientist. It's kind of like nostalgic, honestly. Oh, okay, why does I do that?
But I can't condone a suicide mission. So let it go.
I think you would have punched someone who told you that right after you lost Zach.
You want me to let it go?
To be fair, Adama.
You're the one who can't let go. Painting over the holes in this bucket, the ship is dead, but my daughter might still be alive.
I understand your pain, Captain.
He actually does.
But don't lecture me. You're here to take orders. Do you understand?
He's human, though.
I'm sorry.
You know, he's gonna have an emotional reaction.
I'm
He's
sorry.
standing up. I think that's better than I'd be doing in his situation.
One raptor, Admiral. Maybe it is a suicide mission, but at least give me the chance to do something. Please?
I feel like Hilo might go anyway.
For death is not the end. The blood on these dog tags comes from necrotic flesh. That means a dead body. The DNA analysis is 100% proof positive match for one Captain Kara Thrace.
I don't know that this was the way to do it, Gaius.
Ask her yourself. She
I will
will
put
not
you in the
deny
brig
it. She's
now.
not a Cylon. They've already been revealed to us. Ask her yourself. She will not deny it.
Dismiss everyone! Off the deck, now!
Why is that the way that you thought that it should be addressed, Gaius? You didn't tell her shit she didn't already know. Really? It's just that was her dead body. How the fuck she came back? It's still a mystery. Why is he taking that off? Why is he taking that off? That's his Admiral stuff, right? Why is he taking it all off? Adama, what are you doing? No, Adama's not gonna... No. I worried about this when he said he wasn't gonna say goodbye to them. Is he gonna do something to himself so that he doesn't have to say goodbye to them? No, please no. Maybe I'm reading this all wrong. Okay, there we go, Commander. There we go, that's fine.
This is all that matters. I'll see you around.
Uh-oh, I don't think this...
Gareth Race.
I feel like the scene is not as happy as it's kind of being portrayed as, you know? Yeah, I was gonna say she's putting herself on the wall. Yeah.
We're abandoning ship, Ty.
Good.
No.
Yeah, it's good.
No, you can't do
Ty,
this.
it's good.
I have to.
It's the only way. You have to choose to try to survive.
So we're gonna do this now.
You're choosing to try to survive.
She was a grand old lady.
Yeah.
Grandest. To Galactica. Best ship in the fleet.
To Galactica.
It's really sad because, like, the show is ending. So we're saying goodbye to that. And then also the ship is, you know, Galactica. Okay. I had really hoped we
Everything went smoothly. I
see
take
the
it.
last of them, to be honest.
Don't worry. We'll take good care of her.
I doubt.
There's a pattern there, a pattern that I
can't see.
Yeah. But I think that you can. So we are going to sit in this room, and we are going to pick it apart, beat by beat, until we figure it out. Talk to me, Sam.
New command.
That was a lot. That was a lot on my emotions. And yeah, I am not quite sure how I'm gonna do in the next 2 episodes. I think I'm gonna watch them together, 19 and 20, because it's part 1, 2, and 3. I assume they aired on the same night. I don't know. I can look that up. But if this episode is any indication, I hope you guys have all of your Kleenex ready. I'm gonna have all of mine ready for the final 2 episodes. I can't believe there's 2 episodes left of Battlestar Galactica. 2. I've been watching the show for like almost 2 years, and now I'm basically like 1 sitting down session of watching this away from being done with it. I don't want to think about it. Anyway, sorry. Let's talk about this episode. I cried a lot. A lot of parts of this episode got me, right? I think that it's just emotionally, I'm aware that we're almost at the end of the show. Like, I literally feel like I'm gonna start crying just talking about we're almost over. The show's almost over. I've really loved the show, and I love these characters, and I so much want them all to have like a happy, well, not all. Cavil can go fuck himself right into oblivion for all I care. But I want like the ones I love to have a happy ending, and so it's just it's so hard to kind of watch towards the end because the show is so unpredictable, and we just don't know how it's gonna go, right? I mean, you've seen it before, but I'm sure when you guys were watching this for the first time, you were like like so invested and so worried about how the characters were gonna end up, right? So yeah, anyway, sorry, I'm trying not to be an emotional roller coaster wreck person. So a lot of things got me. One of the main things that got me the most was Hera. Like, when she had that scene, I was already upset. I was already crying. And then they show me a small child who seems distressed, and she's like bawling, and she's like, where's my mom? And like there's snot, and like just, I don't want to see that, you know? Like I can't help but like be upset, because I think, is the little tiny kid actor actually like in distress, you know? Like, they're so small, they don't fully understand like what's going on. Maybe the kid was actually like in distress, and then that upsets me because I don't want any little kid to be in distress, you know? Like that, it just gets me, you know? And like, I'm sure she was fine, and I'm sure that the people on set made sure she was okay and everything, and it was just part of the scene. But it just, I don't know, you guys, it's hard to see little kids in distress. I think that we can all agree, right? It's just, you don't want to see that, you know? It's just hard. And I just think like seeing Athena so upset in this episode, seeing Hilo so upset, like, I think that all of the anger and the vitriol that they are like kind of spewing at people right now it's totally understandable, and I don't blame them at all, right? Like, they are in the process of freaking out about their daughter being missing, and Hilo has it where like Athena blames him because he didn't know that Boomer was pretending to be her, which, like, is it fair? No, but like, in that situation, I think it's completely understandable. When something horrific happens, you want someone to blame. Like, it's just the natural sort of inclination to like find a place to put your anger so that it's not just exploding, right? And so for Athena, that is Tyrell, that is Hilo, and I don't blame her. I do hope that Hilo and Athena can well, obviously I hope to get Hera back unharmed. Hope Cavil doesn't touch a fucking hair on her head. Boomer, please make sure that happens. And like, I hope that they can get her back and then they can work past it, because I think aside from like Adama and Rosalind, they're definitely like my favorite couple on the show. I think that they consistently have had like the most healthy relationship, and just their love story I've really enjoyed watching. And so I hope that they have a happy ending. Hilo is very much, I think, has been the moral kind of compass of the show a lot. Like, if everybody else gets it wrong, you can kind of count on Hilo to get it right and to just be the one. Oh, it's a cat. Okay. Just be the one that is, you know, the moral center, you know? And so, I don't know. I really like him, and I really want him to have a happy ending. Something that I'm not sure how I feel about in this episode, speaking of relationships, and I'll go to Adama and Rosalind in a second, but just while I'm thinking of it, I don't know that I love the Kara and Lee at the end. I loved him saying, I'm Lee and you're Kara, and that's all that matters, you know? I like him being there for her in that way. However, it felt like romantic, right? Which kind of felt out of place, because just a couple scenes before, like at the beginning of the episode, we had her talking to Sam and saying like, I wanted you back in whatever way I could have you, because like I love you. And so it just kind of felt strange to have that scene and then also have a sort of romantic hinting scene with Kara and Lee. I also feel like while Kara and Lee were definitely the heart of the show at one point, like their relationship was very much like the will they won't they of it felt very important, and their relationship together felt very important. I do think that throughout the seasons they've grown a lot further apart, and so the crux of will they won't they for them feels much less important now, right? Like the stakes don't feel as high. Like I'm not as invested in the fact that I want these two characters to end up together as I once was. Like honestly, I kind of am like I don't want Lee to end up sad and alone, but I kind of am more on board for, or would be, I think that Sam might be gone now, like as we knew him, but I would have been more interested in like Kara and Sam working out at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I felt like that was maybe a little bit out of place. I also think maybe it was intended to be, because it's almost like in that moment, Lee is saying, you know, none of that matters to me. We're the same people we always were. But Kara doesn't feel that way. She's not the same person she always was. Physically, mentally, emotionally, she has been changed by dying and coming back in some, like, however the fuck that happened. You know, she feels like a completely different person since that happened. So almost him saying that, and maybe the show is intending to highlight that, shows that Lee doesn't understand her anymore. He's not her person in that same way anymore, because he doesn't know that she feels completely different. I also really appreciated the sort of symbolism of Kara putting her picture on the wall, because she did die, you know, for as far as we know. She died. Well, we know she died, and then she came back. Now, how the fuck that happened, we have no idea. It's really interesting too that Gaius is sort of, well, one, that's the way that he came out with it, which like to me seems like obviously a horrible idea, so I'm not really sure what he was doing, but that he seems to be presenting this idea that life after death is literal life after death, right? Like the Bible, as I understand it in our world, it's very much like a metaphorical life after death, right? Like you die and then you go to heaven, and there's no pain or suffering or sickness or trauma, like, right, it's like a utopia, like a paradise. And yet in this instance, Gaia seems to be sort of almost promising people a chance at an actual life after death, although it doesn't have any of the sort of perks that, you know, the Bible tells you about, with like there is pain, there's still suffering, like you still have to go through shit. It's just you get a second chance at living, which would be interesting, you know. Like obviously this show has a very interesting sort of understanding of God, and I don't think that, I mean, I'll be curious to see how we ultimately settle on that, because there's definitely been like Head 6, the idea that she's an angel, and she's definitely known things that Gaius could not have known and told Gaius. So it's very confusing. We still don't know fully who or what she is. There was a head Gaius at one point as well, and he like knew things. We still don't know exactly what that is. I still think it's worth talking about as well that she used to wear the red dress, and then she's at some point switched to the white dress and like more white outfits. And I wonder if that is supposed to be symbolic of Gaius going from like the darkness to the light, you know, her being like the devil on his shoulder and then becoming the angel. You know, I'm sure that there is some sort of symbolism to that, but that's sort of my guess on it. I don't know fully what it is. I'm also really curious if the dream is going to come true. Sorry, I just jumped straight into another topic. What I'm talking about is like the Rosalind, Boomer / Athena, Gaius, Hera dream, right? Because ultimately Gaius and Six take Hera, or get Hera in the dream, right? And so like that has not happened. I'm really curious about the dream and if it's like going to come to fruition and what that means for the next 2 episodes, the final 2 episodes, excuse me, of the whole show. So I really enjoyed the scene of Rosalind and Adama talking about the idea of home, and like, is home a place? Is it a person? Is it an idea? And is it a feeling? Personally, I definitely thought home was a place growing up. Like, I grew up in the same house for my whole life till I was like 21, maybe 20, something like that. And it was really hard for me to leave that place. Like, you know, I mourned it. I said goodbye. I did all of the ceremonial sort of things. And I think through that, when I moved to a new place, I realized very quickly in that first move that I have fond memories of the home I grew up in. I still very much love it. But that was sort of, to me, the indication that home isn't a place. That any place can be home as long as it has people, animals that you love in it, you know? So to me, I definitely think home is more of a feeling, and it's more of like the people I love. Like, as long as the people I love are there, then that's home. And so I thought it was really cool how Rosalind sort of seemed to adopt that moniker as well, right? She said, you know, I lived in all these places before, like Caprica, like all these places on Caprica. And it wasn't until I came to the Galactica a few months ago with you that I ever felt at home. And I just think that that's such a powerful and beautiful statement that she could give to Adama, and that she could leave with him after she's gone. That I think that home is just like the people you love. And I think that that's really what helped Adama be able to ultimately decide that he can say goodbye to the Galactica as much as he loves it, and as much as he's gonna mourn it, as much as it is the closing of a chapter, that it's more important to be with the people that you love. That's what home is. That's what matters, you know? And so I thought that scene was really important and just really beautiful, honestly. Like, I think it was really well said. It was really well written and acted. And I think that Adama is really going to struggle to say goodbye to Rosalind. I think he's going to struggle to say goodbye to the Galactica. But it doesn't mean that... I think it's still worth it, you know, to love even when you eventually have to say goodbye. Like, it's worth it to have that in your life. And I think that hopefully Adama will also agree with that, you know. You're so cute, Samuel. So I will say, speaking of Adama, the scene with him and Hilo, I get what he was trying to say, you know. Like, he's like, I understand where you're coming from, but you cannot do this. And I totally understand that, and I get where he's coming from. But I think Adama also needs to, in that scene, he needed to, like, take a step back, realize that Zach happened years ago. Like, you've had years to heal from that trauma. For Hilo, it's been like a day, a couple days, you know, like, let him have, like, I don't think you should let him go, because I do think it's a suicide mission. I agree with everything he said there. I just wish that he could have, like, been a bit more emotionally vulnerable with Hilo in that moment and be like, look, I know exactly where you are right now. Like, I have lost a child. And he did say this. But I just wish that he had, like, expanded and been like, I know that, like, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you know, you can keep going. You can do X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm not saying it's ever going to be easy, but I understand. And I don't know. I just think he could have approached the conversation a little bit better. But again, it is Adama. He's not always the most openly emotional. That is what I was trying to say. And, you know, he's not always the best at expressing exactly how he feels without any prompting. So I can understand how the conversation went that way. But I kind of just wish that it had been a little bit different. Because I think that Hilo deserves understanding, because, you know, his child is missing. I think that Athena and Hilo, I think it's totally normal for them to lash out and stuff. And I think that, like, their friends, even like Tyrell and like Starbuck, I think that they're gonna understand that this person's child is missing and could get killed. And so, like, I'm gonna give you some leeway on the fact that we just had a fight, you know? Like, I mean, I would be understanding. I would be like, yeah, you know what? That's fine. So, it was cool. I said it during the episode, but I'm not sure if that bit will be included, so I'll just say it again real quick. I really enjoyed being able to see Gaius, like, even if it was like very brief, get to be like a scientist again, because it felt very nostalgic. It felt like we were back in like season 1, season 2, the good old days almost, you know, when there was still a lot more hope. And I just really enjoyed seeing that moment and those scenes again. Even though I think that he went about it completely the wrong way afterwards with Hera and everything, it wouldn't really be Gaius if he didn't kind of completely fuck up in the end, you know? Love him, but I'm just saying. Also, Cavil is the worst, okay? I do not like Cavil. I do not know how they could possibly take on that colony and survive, though. So, very concerned. I hope Boomer does something. I hope she talks other people into doing something, because Cavil is the worst. And I really want all of him to die. I know that's pretty fucked up, but I'm just saying. I also really liked how they showed Ty in this episode in both his scenes with Adama, which I found really touching, his scenes with Ellen, and his scene with the 8, who was happy to meet her dad. I just think it's powerful that he wanted to have kids so badly, like him and Ellen, and they never did. And then he sort of realizes that actually, you know, through Ellen helping him understand that he has all of these kids. They're all his kids. And that's how they see him. Which honestly, again, does make his whole, it makes his relationship with Six a lot more iffy and gross, which it already was, to be fair, but it kind of makes it worse, as well as, you know, Cavil's relationship with Ellen, which we have talked about on Patreon before, or you guys have talked about, yeah, because Cavil also knew, you know, Ty at least had no idea initially, to be fair. Once he became a Cylon, then he did know. But then he didn't know that he was, like, her dad's Cylon, you know, so. Ow, my bra is stabbing me. Hold on. Yeah, so. And then we had, yeah, anyway, sorry, I just find that. But my point was, yeah, I remembered. I got back there, you guys. My point was, I really enjoyed all of Ty's scenes in this episode. I'm glad that he was able to have kids, or realize that he had kids, even if it wasn't in the traditional sort of way that he initially wanted. And I'm glad that I'm glad that him and Adama had that moment, because I kind of felt like Adama, oh God, I just almost ripped out something. I felt like Adama kind of told him, like, you don't have to keep trying so hard to convince me that you're still the same person. I know that you are still my best friend and one of the best officers I've ever seen. You know, like, I think that was such a validating moment for Ty, and he really, really fucking needed to hear it from Adama. And I really like that he did give him that, you know, that he told him, like, you don't have to keep just trying so hard. Like, I get it. You're the guy that I always thought you were, even though you're a Cylon. Like, it doesn't make me hate you, right? So I just really appreciated that. I have grown to really, really care about Ty a lot throughout this show, which I did not see coming because he was Grandpa Argent and his character in the show was also very frustrating at times. Very, very frustrating. And so, yeah, it's been nice to sort of like both with him and Ellen. I do also feel like I enjoy the Cylon versions of them so much more than like the previous versions of them, especially Ellen post the her interactions with Six in that was it the episode before last episode, right? Because I just felt like she was the same old Ellen in that episode, and then before and after that episode, she has seemed much more like the Ellen from that we got that is like a Cylon, right? If that makes sense. Somebody else, one of you guys also on Patreon talked about this as well, and I completely agree. Like, you didn't love how Ellen acted in that one episode, because when Ellen came back as a Cylon, like, she was so much better, and then she reverted to like the old Ellen in the one episode with Caprica 6 when she was pregnant and everything, and it was just so frustrating to watch because like Cylon Ellen is so much better, you know? And so I completely agree, and it's kind of nice to see her back as more of the Cylon Ellen that we have seen, because I just much prefer her that way. Well, I like Ty. I like Ty both ways, but I think since he's become a Cylon, or since he's become aware that he is a Cylon, he's been a lot more, I don't know. He struggled, but I feel like he also like has sort of like made himself equal to the task of proving himself, and I've really enjoyed watching him do that, if that makes sense. Also, I'm just going to very briefly say I'm sorry that I panicked because I was like, what the fuck is Adama doing? I don't see his character, you know, stepping on an airlock or anything, but he had me worried for a second there. He had me real fucking worried. Because I do think that, like, I don't know, he was concerning me. And I think the last thing that I really want to talk about is Starbuck talking with Sam at the end about they're going to figure out the music and what it means and how it relates to Starbuck. And I am really interested, you know? Like, I am so curious how they're going to end this show. Yeah, I need to know. Hopefully we find out the mystery of Starbuck. Even though this episode, a lot of stuff happened that was very dark and it very much upset me, I feel much less bleak after this episode than I did the last episode. So I feel a bit more like optimistic about what how the show could end. I'm just trying not to get my expectations or hopes up too much that we'll get a happy ending, because I don't want to be too disappointed if it's not happy. But as long as it's done in a good way, even if it's sad, I'll still enjoy it and appreciate it to some extent, you know? So, very interested. Very interested. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. Honestly, I could probably continue talking a bunch in this about this episode. I really enjoyed seeing Boomer sort of soften up again throughout this episode, thanks to Hera. Yeah, and I just enjoyed seeing all of the characters interacting with each other, and I am excited to see how it all ends. Incredibly apprehensive. Incredibly fucking apprehensive, but also excited. Samuel is excited too. You just can't see him. He's over here. Anyway, thank you guys as always so much for watching. If you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode. Every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica, including the miniseries, all the webisodes, and all the movies that have come out, it related to Battlestar Galactica. Not like any of the prequels or whatever, but directly related to this. All of that is over on Patreon, full length, watch along style. Yeah. We're Also, I'll probably do an insert at the beginning of this episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, the poll for the next show, the show that is replacing Battlestar Galactica, will already be live, I'm pretty sure, because I have to do it early. So I can't do it after the finale. It has to be the episode before the finale. Anyway. Yeah. So you can go over there on my Patreon. It is the lowest tier. And it's only $1. And you can vote and help me decide what to watch next. Probably something equally as traumatic, because you guys love to see me cry. Also, it's very easy to make me cry. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I hope to see you guys next time for the end of Battlestar Galactica. Until then, bye guys.